So guys, the key thing is, can a system impact a culture, do you think? Is that possible for a system to impact culture? Right? Yeah. Right? A system can impact culture. Can a process impact culture? Yep. Okay. Can culture, or can the collective attitude impact the system? Let's say you have a system or a process, but everyone hates it, right? So the culture, the collective culture, can impact the system. Even, let's say it's a good system. Let's say it's a good policy and people don't want to follow it. Impacts it, right? Can an individual attitude, can this influence a system? Can one person influence a system? Michael, you shaking your head? Yes? Yeah, okay. Can the behavior of an individual impact a culture? Impact the collective attitude? Can one person impact the collective attitude? Yeah? Okay, do you see this? So there's sort of arrows going, this can impact here, this can impact here, can impact here, but these can all impact each other. Can you see that? Yeah? Does anyone have okay. So all these impact each other. This is what culture is. And what you want to do is just look at, okay, where's the real challenge? Because a lot of times the challenge isn't here in the behavior or the systems. Like you want to influence the behavior systems, but if you only fix the system, you're not going to get it. Posting a sign at these companies, people were falling just as much, in fact, sometimes more, because they were just annoyed. They're like, are you serious? You're going to tell me how to walk down, right? You don't get it. You don't actually get what's in the way. And what was in the way for a lot of these companies was there were some serious challenges that they had that were actually in the way of preventing them working safe. There were all these challenges. Like, hey, we're going to be incentivized if we get this project done, or we'll get promoted if we get it done quickly and we don't have enough, or I'm a new guy, or I'm union, and this person's not union. And I know they're going to get hurt, but I can't because they have seniority. And I have 2 kids at home, and I don't want to say anything. But I can see they're going to get hurt from the way they're working. So that was right. So it wasn't that they didn't have the system in place in that case. It was a cultural challenge. It was literally, you had a union guy who was newer, working with a non-union guy who was senior. And there was a real cultural challenge there. I mean, I was at a job and they're working in a confined space, and you have to have oxygen on and stuff like that. And like literally, the union, non-union guys, they would unplug each other's oxygen. They'd unplug each other's oxygen because they were just, they were so upset at each other. I mean, this is the kind of thing, right? I mean, it was, you think you have challenges? Like imagine being like,
wow, we have nothing.
So this is like, it was a real, now, look, here's what would often happen. Here's what would often happen. We're going to, right, if we address that just behaviorally, what would we do? If we addressed it just on the outside, what would we do? Let's say that happens. You're in charge, okay? And we address it just from the outside. What would the outside approach to be? What? Bring down the hammer. Get rid of that person, okay? Then what happens? What actually happens to this issue? Does it go away? No. Why not? Where does it go? Okay, somebody else, because it goes underground, right? People wait till no one's looking. They got really good. When the oxygen was unpulled, guess what? No one would be around when it would happen, right? It just went right underground, right? It was just like they fired that person. It didn't impact the culture at all. It impacted the culture and said, okay, we got to wait. I'll be the watch. I'll make sure, all right, you're good, do it, and then we'd skedaddle, right? That's what happened. It went underground because we applied they were applying the wrong filter. Can you see it? It wasn't the issue that yes, the person shouldn't do that. I'm not, but if they only addressed it here, or they'd implement a new system, anybody who does that gets fired on the spot. Okay, no impact, no impact, because there were real beliefs that were in the way. There were real challenges that were in the way of them actually doing it. Once, guess what? We address the attitude and beliefs. The safety performance shot up so dramatically. They were studying projects where we were applying kind of a left-hand approach, where we were looking at changing the collective attitude. They were studying projects that had this approach on it, where they changed the attitude. And they stopped the study halfway because they felt like it was unethical to continue the study, because on projects where they addressed the culture, where they addressed the collective attitude and individual attitude, there were so few injuries, the productivity shot up, the quality shot up, and they felt like continue studying this wasn't even ethical because people were going to get hurt and killed on the projects where they weren't changing the attitude. Does this make sense? So again, 4 lenses, all are important. Just look at where you're focusing when you're trying to change culture, okay? And don't over-focus on one. Don't over-focus on, here too. It's possible to just do here and have no system, and that would be an issue too. Make sense?